I want to bring up that one also. And that is the woman Laurel Hubbard and what she's doing now. And I'm torn on this one too. And I go, Larry, wait a minute. Are you being transphobic on me? No, not at all. Hear me out. Why I'm torn on this one, specifically this one.
New Zealand has chosen the first transgender athlete to compete
at
its Olympic Games. Laurel Hubbard is a female weightlifter who will be in Tokyo next month. Supporters call her selection a breakthrough for the transgender community. It's also reignited a debate with critics who say it's unfair for an athlete who used to compete with men to participate in women's sports.
That's the part that does bother me. The part that bothers me is because she competed with men as a man at the Olympic level before. It feels unfair to me. Maybe I'm wrong here. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels unfair to me. If she had transitioned when she was 17, 18, something like that, or even if she hadn't she's trained her body as a male with males at the Olympic level. It feels unfair to me. If she had been just if when she identified as male, if she was just being male, right, and she wasn't training, or at that point it was he. If he wasn't training, then if he was just being a dude, whatever, doing that, and then transitioned, and then competed against women as a woman, I would feel a whole lot better about it. But in this specific case, she has trained her body as a male competing against males. It feels unfair to me. I don't like this one. I don't. I know some of you can be mad and be like, oh my God, you're going to be mad. It's unfair to me. She has trained her body as a male competing with males at the Olympic level. It's not like she was hanging out in high school and playing high school basketball or something as a teenage boy. I get it. No, this seems wrong to me. I know some of you are gonna be upset at me. It just seems like it's the wrong answer. I don't like this concept at all. Queen A says cancel selfie culture. Yeah, that would be nice. Yes, absolutely. So that's good. Oh, you're on my side. I appreciate that. Yes. Joe Rogan has spoken about this. Imagine if she's a fighter against real females. She's a fighter against. But the issue that I would have is, right, same thing. If you were an MMA fighter, I don't know this specific situation, but if you were an MMA fighter and you were a male MMA fighter and you had fought at the professional level and trained at the professional level as a male against males, it makes me feel like when you transition, it's unfair. That's how I feel. And maybe I'm wrong, but it feels unfair. You should have trained your body after you transition, or at least just when you train, not against males at that level of competition. Because no female now who has not transitioned, who was born a female, could ever have realistically competed as a male with males at a professional level. That's why I think it's unfair. I think in that case, it doesn't work. Some of you can be mad at me, think I'm a transphobe or something. Maybe. I just feel like, you know, it's not the right answer. Let me, I'm gonna go a little bit further on this one because they bring a little bit of this up. What I like about this one, CBS actually tries to discuss some of that piece too.
MTS Tie-Up has the story.
For the headline-making and barrier-breaking weightlifter, all she wants to do is compete.
I am who I am. I'm not here to change the world. I just want to, you know, be me and just, yeah, do what I do.
I agree.
43-year-old Laurel Hubbard, who transitioned from male to female in 2012, is considered a serious medal contender.
Well, yeah.
Selected to represent her home country, New Zealand, at the Tokyo Games.
Makes
She's
sense.
a very dedicated and resilient athlete.
I'm sure she's a great athlete. I'm sure she is.
To say how honored she is to be in the team.
Hubbard also has the backing of the International Olympic Committee.
And I bring that one up because right after Blade Runner, the Olympics wanted Blade Runner. I really believe this because it was a show. It was, as his friend said, freak show. I think they're using Laurel the same way. I do. I think they're using Laurel the same way, right? They're doing the Olympics now is doing the rainbow. See, Olympics, we're woke. I think they're doing this. I think that's why they're okay with it. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong if I am here. I'm happy to be wrong if I am here. I feel like that's what they're doing.
The governing body introduced transgender guidelines for athletes back in 2015. Under the rules, those who transition from male to female can compete in the women's category as long as their testosterone was kept below a certain level for at least a year.
Now, that part I actually don't mind. Like, I like the idea of them having rules. I think that's smart, right? To let transgender women compete, you should have some form of rules. Agreed, 100%. My worry is that the rules aren't the right rules, right? My worry is for a year. Okay, a year. But a year? That seems low to me. I'm not an expert, so I could be totally wrong here. Please, if someone knows anything, please let me know. I could be wrong here. I'm telling my feeling. So please do whatever you want. My feeling is that feels way too low. And in my view, you shouldn't have already competed with, that should be a disqualifier. If you've already competed at the championship level in your former gender, I feel like that disqualifies you. You might go, Larry, it's not fair. Lots of things aren't fair, right? I mean, some people are born where they're never gonna be a basketball player, right? I'm in my 50s now. I'm never gonna be a professional basketball player. It's not gonna happen. It's not fair. And it's the way it is. Again, I gotta find another profession. And if you transition late after you've already competed as and trained as the other gender, I feel like it's not fair. Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like it's not fair. That's my view. Some of you guys will be mad at me. I apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. I don't think that's the right answer. Let me go. She actually covers a bit more on this.
Joanna Harper, a medical physicist and competitive runner who is also trans, helped advise the IOC on its guidelines.
Pre-transition and post-transition, did that change your ability to be a competitive athlete?
When I transitioned, within 9 months of hormone therapy, I was running 12% slower. That's the difference between serious male athletes and serious female athletes.
Well, this is a valid point, right? There's no doubt that when you transition, you aren't as strong. That's true physically. That's absolutely true. And which is why I'm not 100% against this. The rules have to be better. I think the rules we're testing rules out. I don't think they work.
Is it fair?
The absolute answer to that question is still not certain.
Now that I respect this woman for actually saying that. She said it's not certain. I agree. She's agreeing. It might not be fair. It feels like it's not.
We need a lot more data before we can come to an absolute conclusion on that.
Yes, I agree.
For those opposed to Hubbard's inclusion in the games, her competitive advantage over other women is certain.
Yep.
Males do have a performance advantage that's based on their biological sex. They outperform us on every single metric: speed, stamina, strength. Picking testosterone is a red herring. I mean, we're forgetting about the anatomy, the fast twitch muscle, the bigger organs.
And the reason why I said that is I do think that a regular, everyday male who's just hanging around can easily be beaten in almost anything by a trained woman, clearly, right? In almost anything physically. If a woman's training, she can. If a woman trains at an Olympic level, she's going to outdo any average male. Guaranteed. But when a male trains at an Olympic level, he's going to beat any female. And that's my issue that I know I keep harping on it because that is my issue. She trained at an Olympic level as a male. This is wrong.
For Hubbard's supporters, whether she wins gold or not, being allowed to compete at the Olympics as a woman against other women is already a victory for trans rights.
Isn't that exactly the same thing they said for Blade Runner? I'm telling you, this is the Olympics getting people to watch their Olympic show. This is yeah. Look, I feel for Laurel. I know she wants to compete. I hope she does well. I wish her no ill whatsoever. She's being used, just like Blade Runner was. She's being used. I hope she at least gets a lot out of it. I hope so, at least. Something, I guess. So, yeah.